If you're on a budget but still need to care for your gut health like me, I feel you. It can be costly, but at the same time, I am willing to do and pay anything if it can benefit my digestion. That's why I am super excited to finally announce that you can get my digestive support protein powder delivered monthly at 20% off, always for reoccurring deliveries. The testimonies from my digestive protein have touched my heart, and each new one that comes in brightens my day. If you are also one to have the most sensitive tummy and have tried everything looking for answers, give my protein a chance. I personally created it with Nuzest, only allowing the best of the best ingredients and eliminating all common gut irritants. So there's no gums, flavorings, artificial sweeteners, or lectins. Flavored with real organic vanilla beans and cacao, plus the addition of Bacillus coagulans and L-glutamine, 2 ingredients proven by third-party studies to help rebuild the gut lining and aid in digestion. We regularly third-party test for lead and heavy metals, ensuring the cleanest pea protein. I would not put my name on anything I wasn't proud of or wouldn't eat myself, and I consume my own protein every day. My listeners get 35% off your first order when you subscribe to a canister delivered to your doorstep monthly. That's just 12 tubs per year and a happy tummy 365 days a year. Head on over to newsest-usa.com and use code DIGESTSUB to get 35% off. That's nuzest-usa.com and use code DIGESTSUB for 35% off. That's DIGEST, S-U-B. The holidays, a time filled with celebrations, family, friends, and hidden health risks. The most wonderful time of the year also comes with illnesses, injuries, and mental health challenges. From Christmas tree mold, seasonal depression, pressures accommodating guests, to decorating disasters and ER visits. Let's take a look at the most common Christmas challenges and how we can best navigate this season. First off, mold. If your sniffling and sneezing coincide with the arrival of your freshly cut Christmas tree, you could be reacting to skyrocketing mold spore counts. A 2011 study published in the Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology found that 53 different kinds of mold were present on 28 samples of Christmas trees, 70% of which were potentially harmful and could trigger allergic reactions. If you have a live tree at home during the holidays and you experience itchy, watery eyes, a runny nose, fatigue, or allergy like sneezing, wheezing, and coughing, then it may be time to get rid of the real thing and seek artificial alternatives. But if you must have a real tree in your home, you can help prevent allergic reactions for you and your guests by hosing down your tree or spraying it with a mold-resistant solution. And that solution can be as simple as just pH-adjusted water. Be sure to allow it to dry before bringing it indoors, however. Now, depression is something a lot of people experience during the holidays because, well, the holidays can already be, a tough time for some people, and those with seasonal affective disorder face additional mental health challenges. A seasonal affective disorder is also called SAD, and it's sometimes referred to as winter depression because the symptoms usually appear during late fall or early winter. Some of the possible causes for seasonal affective disorder can include changes in melatonin levels or a decrease in serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that can affect mood, often due to reduced sunlight. Many people tend to experience more depression and anxiety with the start of Thanksgiving, extending into Christmas and New Year's. Other factors that may contribute besides lack of sunlight are single individuals, loss of a loved one, and living far away from one's family. Plus, the stigma around the holidays makes it even worse. There's pressure to do all the things, be with family, and have a partner is very pushed. But if people can just make the mental shift that you don't have to do what everyone else is, and just think of it as another time of the year, another day of the year, and enjoy just the status quo, that can truly help make a huge difference in expectations. I also want to note therapy is another great tool. Find a therapist now. Talk to them. Reach out to friends, join a church, make coffee dates, sit at a coffee shop, and do your work rather than at home. Being around people, even if you don't know them, can truly lift your mood. Now, let's talk about food poisoning during the holidays. The main culprit during this part of the season in parties is the food that sits out for too long without being refrigerated. According to the CDC, bacteria can grow quickly between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, otherwise known as the danger zone. To avoid getting yourself and others sick, keep hot foods hot and cold food cold. That should be a no-brainer. And if you're at a party, be aware of this and make note of how long food has been sitting out, as well as what foods are safe and don't need climate control. Common foods that need refrigeration are dairy-based items, such as like dairy dips, also hummus, potato or macaroni salad, deviled eggs, shrimp cocktail, cured meats, etc. Now, popular holiday dishes that should be kept warm, obviously like mashed potatoes, meats, macaroni and cheese, casseroles, warm dishes like spinach and artichoke dips, things of that nature. Now, foods safe to grab at room temp are typically chips and crackers, salsas due to their high acid content, sweets, a fresh veggie platter is fine, and most fruit platters as well. Now, speaking of parties, that brings us to colds and flu. Holiday parties frequently have some sort of buffet where guests can help themselves to a variety of festive treats. There may also be a sit-down meal on top of that. You might even have multiple parties to attend in the same night. In other words, there are a lot of chances to contract and spread a number of common illnesses. Here are a few ideas just to keep in mind if you are wondering what to do to avoid getting sick. Obviously, avoid gatherings if you are feeling sick. That should be a given, right? Take immune boosting supplements and herbs. Some of my favorites, one of my favorites is the Further Foods Ultimate Immune Support, which contains vitamin C, D, and E, zinc, and elderberry, plus 18 different herbs and mushrooms known to help support one's respiratory and immune function. I also love that there's no silicone dioxide or unnecessary ingredients that you'll find in other capsules on the market. And it's free from common allergens such as soy, corn, dairy, and gluten. If you want to try Further Foods Ultimate Immune Support, you can use my code LILSIPPER to receive 15% off your order. Or you can receive 25% off your first order if you subscribe and save. So just go to furtherfood.com and use code LILSIPPER. That's LILSIPPER. I'll also provide a link in today's show notes that will take you directly there. And lastly, focus on reducing stress. Stress really affects our immune system, so limiting your stress level is key. Don't be afraid to say no to parties and gatherings if you're feeling overwhelmed. Don't overplan and allow others to help or host. You don't have to do it all, and allow yourself some time for you. And that's today's Bite of Knowledge. I hope these simple reminders and tips were helpful to you. And if you did find this episode helpful, remember you can always share it. That helps the podcast grow. You can always rate and review. That also helps the podcast grow and helps get it into more ears and helps pop up when people are looking for a really good health and wellness podcast to listen to. As always, I appreciate your support. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Chris McCone. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.